Welcome to the biggest Red Dead Online server on Xbox, Cowpoke. This here's the tutorial that will serve as your orientation to the game. Our roleplay focuses on immersion and realism, built on a very structured system. Discord is heavily integrated with our server and is used as a tool to expand the game and create a better experience. The Discord and the roleplay go hand in hand, so you'll want to have Discord open beside you at all times in session. We have members from all over the world, in all different time zones, and with all different schedules, so our roleplay goes on 24/7 with a drop-in, drop-out system. I'm gonna go over all the rules and procedures, so do your best to listen up and pay attention. You'll be quizzed on the information later, but do not worry. You can watch the video as many times as you need. Now, let's go over the gameplay mechanics. Whenever you are in session, these are the settings you need to have on or off. Number 1, free aim. You cannot use any aim assist or auto lock on during session. Go into settings, go to controls, put your aim assist or lock on mode on free aim for both on mount and on foot. Number 2, no minimap. You must have your minimap off or on compass mode. Compass mode is recommended and waypoints on the map are still allowed. Hold down the arrow on the arrow pad, also known as the D-pad, in order to pull up the minimap settings and turn off your minimap or on compass mode. Number 3, no ability cards. You cannot use ability cards when you are in session. Hold down on the left bumper button and press Y to access your ability card loadout. The only exception is the Hangman card. All other ability cards are not allowed. Number 4, no Deadeye. You cannot use Deadeye to shoot anything. This includes players, NPCs, or animals. You are, however, allowed to use Deadeye for tracking and to search for plants, animals, and collectibles. Number 5, no fast travel. You are not allowed to use fast travel, by all means, with one exception, of course. You are allowed to use it when you first load in, just in order to get to the last spot you're at on the map before you went offline. Other than that, no other use of fast travel is allowed. Number 6, gamer tags off. You must turn off the overhead names above players, horses, and posse when in session. By doing so, this greatly increases the immersion. In order to do so, go to Settings, go to Display, and scroll all the way down to the bottom under the Player category. You will indeed be able to turn all the overheads off there. Number 7, no defensive mode. Defensive mode is not allowed, so please make sure you remain in offensive mode when you're in session. Also, make sure your horse access is set to everyone and leading is enabled. Roleplay rules. Now let's go over some of our most important rules. Number 1, when in session, you can never ever break character. This includes a variety of things like saying modern words, like controller, button, AFK, Wi-Fi, even the word roleplay cannot be used. It also includes saying things that do not exist yet. For example, you look like you just got hit by a truck. That would be breaking character because, as you know, it's 1899 and trucks have not been invented yet. This can easily be fixed by changing it to, you look like you just got hit by a train. We have a list of code phrases we use to avoid breaking character, which can be accessed in the Discord with the command !codes. The most important one is, I really need to talk with you, which means you need to talk with someone out of character. When necessary, you can talk and out of character in a private Xbox party or through Discord DMs, but never in game chat. Number 2, fear of death. Remember to always have the fear of death rule in mind. Your character is not immortal. They should be afraid of death and act accordingly. When put in dangerous situations, your character should act afraid of harm or death. Not role-playing out this realistic fear would be considered breaking character. Number 3. Fighting griefers. When in session, you are not allowed to fight or engage with griefers or randoms. We like to call those little critters mosquitoes. You cannot shoot them or fight them, even if they attack you first. You just ignore them, parlay, and continue as if nothing ever happened. If they are playing music through their microphone or harassing you, just mute them through the player menu. You do not roleplay out wounds from griefers or acknowledge their actions. You may use emotes, say hello, and be friendly to griefers, but they cannot interact with us or roleplay with us unless they become a member. This includes any friends you might have that want to join. They cannot participate until they have become a member. If mosquitoes are persistently harassing us, we will deploy the following anti-mosquito measures. Simply leave the area to get into a different place. Second, try blocking the griefer's Xbox profile so they cannot join off our profiles no more. Thirdly, you may request a one-time only moderator approval use of fast travel to get away from them. Fourth, you may request a last resort session swap in which a designated member must take the responsibility of inviting all members in session to the new session. If you come across a mosquito that would like to join the server, you're allowed to invite them by all means, but it has to be through Xbox DMs only. You cannot break character to talk with them using the in-game voice chat. Number 4. God modding and metagaming. God modding and metagaming are never allowed. God modding includes the following: taking control of someone else's character, ignoring damage, refusing to take damage, being invincible or overpowered, refusing to acknowledge roleplay from others in order to win. God modding is also called fail RP because you fail to roleplay correctly and realistically. Metagaming is simply using information you know out of character for in-character roleplay. It's okay to know information out of character, but it is never okay to use it in character. Do not make decisions based on information you know out of character. This includes what you know from your map, your radar, what you see in the Discord in session, eavesdropping from unrealistic distances in-game. Remember to only roleplay things that your character knows. Lastly, remember you are not your character, and your character is not you. Never blur the lines between out of character and in-session roleplay. Communication. Next, I'm going to explain how we communicate in roleplay. There are 4 methods of communication when in session. Number 1. The in-game voice chat. The in-game voice chat is the main way we communicate in character, and the only problem we occasionally run into is the unrealistic proximity range. Remember, you cannot talk to or eavesdrop on other players from unrealistic distances. You should only talk to a player if they are close enough that you could hear them if this was real life. When in a posse, the game allows you to talk to each other across the entire map. Please be mindful that this is not realistic and not allowed. Number 2. Private Xbox parties. Private Xbox voice parties are used to talk privately in character, or when several characters within range of each other are trying to talk all at once. You can talk privately with characters by inviting players to a private Xbox voice party, usually preceded by the phrase, "Let's lower our voices," or "Let's talk privately." Make sure when you talk privately that you are standing close beside one another in a place you could realistically not be overheard, usually a closed room or a out-of-the-way place. When several players are all in the same place and trying to talk over each other at the same time, it can get very chaotic. When this happens, people are encouraged to break off into private Xbox parties. This is a common practice at large social events when people are trying to talk all at once. Number 3. The Action Channel in Discord. The Actions channel in Discord is where we put things we can actually do in-game. This includes emotions and actions like facial expressions, hand gestures, appearance, or body posture. It expands the roleplay experience that you can go beyond what the actual game mechanics allow, pretty much giving you freedom to do anything with a little imagination. You can also use the Actions tab to roleplay out your character's routines. This is a way to open and close your session while offering small insight to your character's habits and routines. Remember, Actions channel is for role-playing actions and interactions you can actually do in-game, expressing emotion and body language, describing appearance, wounds, or scenes beyond what the game allows, briefly role-playing, waking up or going to bed to establish routine. These are some things the Action channel is not for. Text-based roleplay, dialogue, paragraphs or walls of text, your location in-game, thoughts or thought process. Number 4. In-character telegrams. The last method of communicating we use is in-character telegrams. Every character is given a private telegram channel in the Discord with a corresponding number. By using the command !telegram followed by a unique 4-digit code, you can send and receive telegrams to and from players in character. In order to send or receive a telegram, you must be at a post office in-game. One exception you should be aware of is that the small train station at McFarland's Ranch is considered a post office in our roleplay, even though it isn't actually a post office in-game. These in-character telegrams is how you can contact and meet up with players in session. The template for how to send these telegrams will be in the description of your Telegram channel, so you can always be able to find it. You will want to remember when you meet up with new characters to write down their names and telegram numbers so you can reach out to them later. Remember, cowpokes, no spoilers are allowed in the Discord. You cannot arrange meetings in the Discord, mention your location, or reveal things about your character's backstory, personality, or future plans. The creators of our server designed the roleplay for us to meet and get to know each other's characters in roleplay through roleplay. This creates the most immersive experience and leaves much to be discovered in session. Now we're going to go over the Discord systems we use in cooperation with our roleplay. First, how to go online. In order to join the roleplay session, go to the Who's Online channel and use the command !online. This will give you the in-session role and alert other members to send you an Xbox invite to the game. Keep in mind, it can take a minute or two to receive an invite sometimes, as some players might be in the middle of a scene. Once you receive an invite and spawn in, you're going to magically appear in front of the player you joined in on, as if Scotty just beamed you down himself. This is very immersion breaking, as you've suddenly appeared without explanation in front of someone's character. So to avoid this, neither you nor the other player will acknowledge each other. As soon as you've loaded in, you should run away without interacting with the other character, and just return to the last place you're in the previous session. For your first time joining the session, just run away to the next town and start your session there. Remember to go offline with the command !offline when you're logging out of session. You can also use the command !AFK on and !AFK off to let other players know you are unavailable in the Who's Online channel. Next, we're going to go over money and the general store. We have our own currency, different and separate from Red Dead Online. You use money to purchase items from the store or from other players. It can also be deposited and withdrawn from banks. To deposit or withdraw money, just go to a bank in one of the towns and use the command /deposit or /withdraw, followed by the amount of money in the bank channel. Now, unfortunately, you can't actually go inside banks. so just walk up to the doors in order to use it. The reason you want to keep your money in the bank is because other players can potentially rob you, and you might not want to be carrying around excessive amounts of money. To check your balance, just use the command !BAL in the bank channel or item spam channel. It will tell you how much cash you have on hand, how much you have in the bank, and how much you have altogether. There is also a thread in the Who's Online channel called Daily Login RP, where you can collect $15 every day for logging into session. Just go to the Who's Online channel and click on the thread and use the command /collect income to receive your daily income. You can do this once per day and must be in session in order to collect it. You can shop and look through the items in our general store by using the /item store command in the general store channel. You have to be standing in a general store in-game in order to buy something, which you can do by using the command /item buy. Now, you can't buy anything from the catalog when in session, but don't be afraid to use it as a prop in roleplay, like a book, or a notebook, or a newspaper. You can also open the catalog when going AFK to avoid being timed out and kicked for inactivity, as the in-game catalog is designed for you to be able to browse indefinitely. All the guns and horses in the game can be found in our store, but some of the things have been condensed for convenience's sake. For example, the many specific items in Red Dead Online are combined in larger categories in our store, like tobacco, liquor, ammo, and food. Whiskey and beer refer to the drinks served in saloons, and any customization on your hair, horse, or weapon is just hair customization, horse customization, and weapon customization. All clothes are just classified as outfits. You can carry up to 5 outfits in your inventory, and these need to be vastly different from each other in order to be categorized as separate outfits. Lastly, something you should know and remember is that dynamite is temporarily banned at the moment, so you shouldn't be using dynamite for the time being. Next is inventory. You can check your inventory by going to the command spam channel and use the command /item inventory. It'll bring up your character's inventory and you can flip through the pages to see all the items you have. Your starting inventory is 1 sidearm, 1 long arm, and 1 horse, 2 outfits, and $100. The sidearm and long arm can be any weapons you want, and they come as is, including any customizations you may already have. You will only have to buy any weapon customizations if you change them at any later date. You will have to buy all of the other tools from our store before you can use them in session, like the lasso, lantern, fishing pole, etc. You must pay for drinks served at saloons, but feel free to use health cures, food, and ammunition you need in-game, as it would be too difficult for us to keep strict track of that in the Discord. We just encourage and ask that you visit our general store from time to time to buy some food and ammo, because realistically, if you didn't buy food, your character would eventually starve, and if you didn't buy ammo, your character would eventually run out of bullets.
I would like to take a moment to let you know that you will be asked to give a secret phrase in the application quiz, so we know you are paying attention. That secret phrase is, "There are far too many cats in this town." Remember that, Pilgrim, and you'll be just fine.
Now I'm going to go over jobs and quests. If you look in Discord, you'll see 2 categories, one called legal jobs and one called quests. These categories have different jobs and quests you can complete to earn money. All you have to do is perform a task in game, take a screenshot of the proof, and then post it in a corresponding forum channel with your character's name in the title. You will use the same forum post for all future screenshots for that particular job or quest. Pinned at the top of each forum channel is a post that lists all the rules, limits, and requirements for each job request. It will explain how much the job pays, what tools might be required to start it, what the daily limit is, and any perks or criminal opportunities associated with it. Read it closely because it will tell you exactly what to take a screenshot of, how many screenshots to take, and what the screenshots need to include in order to receive payment. I'm going to go over 2 examples of jobs now so you can get a good understanding of how our process works. The first one is the bounty hunter job. This is something you can actually do in-game. In order to start it, you need a bounty hunter's license from our store. The daily limit is 3 bounties a day. To collect payment, simply take a screenshot of the end title screen where it says Mission Complete and upload it to your forum post. Then, simply add the moderators to receive payment. The moderators will pay you just as soon as they get a chance to do so, which is generally fairly quick. Now, I'm going to go over a job you can't actually do in the game, which is gold panning. In order to start it, you need to buy a gold pan from the store, and then go to any river or stream in the game. Just crouch next to the stream and take a screenshot as if you were scooping up gravel and dirt to look for gold. You use the command /gold search to roleplay out sifting through the gravel, and it rolls a die to let you know how many nuggets you found. You might find 0 to 3 nuggets in each swirl or scoop of the pan, and you can use the command as many times as you want, but the limit is no more than 100 nuggets per day. When you're finished, just add the moderators and let them know if you want to keep the gold or cash it out. Now I'm going to give you 2 examples of quests. The first one is the quest called McFarlane's Ranch. This quest is at McFarlane's Ranch where Bonnie McFarlane is paying people to milk her cows. Now there aren't any cows there, but with the power of imagination, this can be a pretty easy way to make some good money. Just go into the corrals at the McFarlane's Ranch and crouch down as if you were going to milk a cow. Take a screenshot and upload it to your post. You will milk the cow by using the command /milk, which will roll a die to see how much milk you will get. The cow might kick you or run away, or you might just get various increments of ounces in milk. The limit is 150 ounces per day, so once you get 150 ounces, just add the moderators and they'll simply pay you out. The second quest example is the Rupert Rocksterius channel. These are the stranger missions in free roam like Hector, Henry, the Boy, Trelawney, Alden, etc. We say all these strangers work for an NPC named Rupert Rocksterius. He's a rich NPC, a little bit of a jerk. No one likes him much, but he pays good money for these missions you can do. You don't need any tool or anything to start it. You just accept a mission, take a screenshot of the title screen where it says Mission Completed, upload the screenshot to your post, and add the moderators for payment. You can do 3 Rupert Rocksterius missions per day. But keep in mind, cowpoke, if you do any of the blood money / negative honor missions, then you will have to report a crime as well. Rule of imagination. If there is a job you want to do and you don't see it on our list, you can create it under the rule of imagination. The moderator team can help you find a way to earn money off of the job you create, but keep in mind you'll still need to put in the effort and build it up from the ground. Wounded and permadeath. In our server, it's up to you when and how badly your character gets injured. In Red Dead Online, there are occasionally things that are just accidents or mishaps that you are not required to take damage from if you don't want to. These include things like wild animal attacks, falling off your horse, riding off a cliff, getting hit by a train, or being shot by an NPC. In those situations, you can just dismiss the damage as minimal by telling those around you that you are okay. Now, there may be occasions where you may have no choice but to accept the damage because to refuse to do so would be godmodding. When you get injured in a fight or altercation with another player, this is especially true. When this happens, you should ideally coordinate with that person via Discord DMs to decide and agree on acceptable level of damage. We do understand that sometimes there just isn't time depending on the situation, so remember, ultimately, it is up to you regarding how badly your character is injured. Just make sure you don't refuse to take damage or too little damage, as that would be unrealistic and definitely would be godmodding. If you intend on wounding someone else's character in a lethal or permanent way, you should DM them on Discord and ask permission first. In general, players should avoid wounding characters lethally if they can help it. But often enough things happen very fast unintentionally. In that case, there isn't time to be careful or ask permission first. After you have chosen to accept damage, you will then use the command !wounded in the actions channel and roleplay out the wounds. Your character should get to an NPC or player doctor as soon as possible. When you are killed in-game and forced to respawn, you must return to your body, crouch down next to it, and wait. When this has happened, you are now effectively down and incapacitated. You cannot shoot back or run away. If you could shoot back or run away, everyone would just be continuously respawning and shooting one another, and that would be just PvP. If you do want to PvP, then you should just go play Red Dead Online, because that is not what this server is about. You will want to go to a player doctor if at all possible, as this gives you a unique opportunity for a great roleplay interaction. When the player doctor examines you, you should describe your character's wounds in detail in the actions channel, and the player doctor will treat you accordingly. Player doctors charge less than NPC doctors, and you can reach by telegram at the emergency number !telegram 8888. To become a doctor, you need to purchase a doctor's license from the general store, and we recommend reading up a little bit about medical treatments of $18.99, because you should have very minimal basic knowledge of medicine and historical treatments if you're going to play a doctor. Once you're a doctor, you use medical bags to heal players, and use the command !heal to heal players and remove the wounded status role. After you've been healed by a doctor, you're going to need to roleplay out the wound for a little bit. How long you roleplay out being wounded is up to you, but it should be somewhat realistic, and it also depends on how seriously your character was wounded. Permadeath is allowed in our server, but it's somewhat discouraged. Our roleplay is designed for us to develop our characters over time. We want you to develop friendships and relationships, and create memorable stories. We don't want you to kill your characters off too quickly before you even had a chance to develop them. We ask you not to cycle through characters too fast, and we ask that you do your best to make your character unique. Now, permadeath is completely your choice in our server. You cannot kill anyone else's character without their permission, and no one can kill your character without your permission. If you receive a serious injury and you are thinking of killing off your character, we want to remind you there are indeed alternatives. Here are just a few examples. You can give your character a permanent disability rather than killing them off permanently. Sometimes that can actually add to a character and make good story development. You can just send your character away temporarily or permanently out of the territory in order to play another one if you didn't want to permadeath. Character suicide is not allowed in our server due to how very sensitive and triggering the topic can be. Things to do in preparation for permadeath include writing your will, and we suggest informing moderator staff of your plan to make sure things go smoothly. Please do not use permadeath as a reset button or a get-out-of-jail-free card. If you get yourself in trouble with other characters in the server, or you rack up a lot of prison time or debt, please do not kill off your character just so you can avoid the consequences and start over. Now, after you have permadeath your character, you are not allowed to join in session or follow people around until you have brought in your next character. You may remain by your body immediately after death, but you cannot talk to anyone or follow anyone around as a ghost. Crime and law. The U.S. Marshal Service is the law of the territory. They are the only law in the land currently, and they have a tough job keeping some level of order in this land of chaos and crime. The emergency telegram is !telegram 9999 to give crime tips or request help. There are several different crimes you can do, and they are listed in the Crime Rules channel in the Outlaws category. I'm going to explain one of them in order to give you an understanding of how crime works. So let's go rob an NPC, cowpoke. Firstly, you're going to go somewhere in-game and find an NPC you want to rob. Take a screenshot of the NPC you're going to rob, and then take out your gun, point it at him, and voice roleplay robbing them. Then you're going to run away with the loot, and you're going to make a crime report. Go to the Areas category and pick the area farm channel that corresponds with the location you're at in-game. Create a post and title the post something in regards to the crime you are committing, for example, arson, battery, assault, or even murder. Make sure you put the exact location where you committed the crime so the marshals know where to go investigate the crime later.
Now, enter the command !Rob NPC in the post and it will roll the dice to see how much money the NPC had in his pockets. This command will also ping moderators to pay you out the money you received from the robbery. Now put in the command /crime town if you are in a town and /crime open if you are outside a town. Just follow that command with a / and the name of whatever crime you have committed. This command will prompt you to fill out evidence, which will include horse breed, horse color, outfit, hairstyle, weapon, and gender. After you fill them out correctly, it will post them in redacted spoilers so that you can view the information without clicking on each item. Make sure you are detailed in your evidence descriptions or you will be asked to fill it out again. Now, if you have done anything to cover up your crime or if you have left any hints or clues on purpose, make sure you include them in your crime post before moving on. Now, this is how the U.S. Marshals will investigate. However many witnesses you got on your crime is how many times the Marshals can use the command !Investigate Witness. If you got 0 witnesses, then the Marshals can't even investigate at all. They won't even know the crime happened. If you get 1 to 3 witnesses, they can use the command to roll the dice to see how many pieces of evidence the witnesses remembers. The witness could remember 1 or 2 pieces of evidence, or the witnesses might not remember anything at all. They can use the command !Investigate place 1 time per crime scene. They could find 1 or 2 pieces of evidence like tracks, shell casings, hair from you or your horse. Or they could find nothing at all. It depends on the dice. If the Marshals get enough evidence to know it's you, they'll give you a wanted level. You could get a 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star wanted level. If you get a 3-star wanted level, you can no longer do legal jobs. If or when the Marshals catch you, there are consequences for crimes. When you're caught by the Marshals, remember these 2 things. Whenever you're in a jail cell, the door is always locked. The lock cannot be picked. Whenever you're tied up in ropes, you cannot escape the way Red Dead Online allows you to. Breaking out of the ropes in that way is unrealistic. You cannot break out of ropes if someone is watching you. It violates the fear of death rule, because they would just shoot you if you tried to escape. So make sure you only escape from ropes when no one is watching. Crime consequences include community service, fines, prison time, or a combination of the 3. Consequences are directly related to the severity of the crime or crimes you have committed. You may serve a little jail time in the town jail, or you will be sentenced to the prison at Fort Mercer. When you're in Fort Mercer, you cannot escape on your own. There is a way to break out a friend of Mercer from the outside, and you can read more about it in the Fort Mercer Penal Colony channel in the Discord. When you're in Mercer, you can do jobs such as repairing shoes or helping the prison cook in order to get reduced time on your sentence. Every 10 minutes, you need to upload a screenshot of your character in Fort Mercer in order to prove you're serving out your sentence. Once you have served your required sentence, you, my friend, are free to go. Well, partner, this concludes the Red Dead Online Roleplay tutorial. Now you're ready to take the application quiz. Remember, you can rewatch this video as many times as you need. Thank you for watching and good luck. Your journey in the Wild West begins now.